Well, good Monday morning to you, Brooks Baptiste here, checking in from the First Alert Desk. Hey, man, I'm telling you, after yesterday's game, many of you probably, hopefully you're up and out and about right now, made it to work and all that good stuff, but maybe you're moving a little sluggish. All good. We've got you covered with a couple of those top stories that you need to know about at this 11 o'clock hour. So a couple of things that we're watching this morning. There's a developing story out of Stonecrest, DeKalb County this morning. I'm talking about one person being dead. This is after a shooting outside of a nightclub and a sports bar. Okay, so let's talk about this. Want to give you kind of an idea of what was going on and what was happening. And here's a little bit of that scene that we've been seeing overnight. Our Bridget Spencer happened to be out there at that scene earlier this morning. And she says that, according to the bar owner, this shooting happened just after 3 a.m. Now, just to give you kind of an idea of what was going on out there, that's right before closing time. And the bar owner says that he saw a group of four get into some kind of argument before shots were fired. He says that one man was shot and killed, police confirming that to us, and the owner giving us his account of what he saw unfold. He also says that he's just disturbed right now by this violence that is continuing to happen in his community. Here's what he had to say.
Victim gets out, start arguing with another guy and a chick, and then at some point, the shooter just gets out, and I'm like, calmly walks to his car over here, walks back, and it's pretty gross. The reason why most people are in jail or dead, ego.
And he makes a great point right there. You know, we've seen a lot of these unfortunate shootings and deaths that have happened in multiple communities. Sometimes it is because of egos. Sometimes it is because of people not wanting to be, put on blast or ashamed in front of a group. So sometimes it leads to a fight and leads into some unfortunate deaths. So again, this all happening in Stonecrest in DeKalb County. One person dead after a shooting at this sports bar. The sports bar, I want to show you exactly where it is because I know many of you probably said, all right, well, have I ever been to this place? It's called The Bomb. So that is the name of the place. And this is a developing story that we're going to continue to stay on top of, and we'll be able to let you know if anything else comes out about this. Another story that we're watching this morning, many of you probably heard of this man right here, whether it be on social media. His name is Michael Giddewan. He was shot to death February 5th outside of his own nightclub. Now, he co-owned a nightclub along with his brother. Together, they had owned several Atlanta nightclubs over the past, few years. And this place in particular was called The Republic. Well, now, according to an Instagram post, it's going to be closing its doors for good. Police soon named a suspect, 39-year-old Jonathan David Soto, who is a family friend, according to the brother of Michael Giddewan. Now, the family has put up a $100,000 reward for finding him. Still no word yet on a motive. Now, in a post over the weekend, the account for Republic said that that nightclub going to be closed. A lot of folks really not happy about that. Some asking some questions, but many seem to be very understanding by a lot of the comments that I was able to see out there. In the meantime, people who live by this area say they are just stunned by this murder, say they just don't understand how something like this could happen. But yeah, it's going to be one less place for nightlife here in the city of Atlanta and West Midtown, to be, a little more specific. And again, from what I gathered from social media, a lot of people said that Michael Giddewan was a very nice guy. The 50-year-old was someone that they enjoyed being around. They said it was always a very welcoming environment. So very unfortunate to hear that this happened. But again, this 39-year-old Jonathan David Soto still on the run right now. Authorities have not been able to catch up to him. And again, we have been told that he's a friend of the family. So a lot of questions surrounding this. And again, that $100,000 reward is up for grabs right now. So if you know where Soto may be, you are urged to give police a call, and hopefully you'll be able to help them get a little closer to this investigation and to the bottom of it. All right, so here's another story that is definitely making headlines right now. When you talk about medical marijuana, there's always a lot of discussion about it, but we know that it could be very helpful for some of the people who live right here in our state. And that's why this bill to increase medical cannabis licenses happens to be something that, people are really, really into right now and really trying to figure out what is this process going to be like? So let's show you a little bit of what this is and what's going on. It's been somewhat of a slow process. I think it's safe to say that, but getting medical marijuana in the hands of Georgians with these chronic illnesses could soon get a little easier for them. A State House committee approved legislation that would allow more companies to produce cannabis oil, would be that bill, and that state in fact could award 14 licenses up from the current 6 that are out there right now. Now, supporters of the bill say it could clear up lengthy lawsuits filed by companies who were originally denied a license, but right now only patients who are issued a low THC oil registration card are eligible to possess those medical cannabis here in Georgia. So you may be saying, okay, so what does this matter, and really how does it impact me? Well, medical cannabis can be used to treat a lot of symptoms from some of those debilitating conditions, including cancer, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, seizures caused by epilepsy, chronic pain. So this is why a lot of people are very passionate about it. This is why a lot of people have a lot of those different arguments about it as well. And they're saying, hey, I want to do whatever I can to make sure I can get my hands on it for medical purposes. But again, something that we'll be watching throughout the day, and we'll be sure to let you know if we get more information on that one. Now, one more story. Let's talk about the gas prices here in our area. If you've had to fill up recently, you may be saying to yourself, I can't tell, am I paying more? Am I paying less? Maybe one day you feel like you're paying more, the next day you feel like you're paying less. Well, so supposedly we're kind of going through a roller coaster right now, really on your wallet, and that's because prices at the pump, you know, they spiked following a lot of the expiration of our gas tax here in the state of Georgia, but now you may be glad to hear that they are on their way back down. Not too many people are going to be upset about that. So you're paying an average price of about $3.25 per gallon for regular unleaded right now, and that's about $1 less than this time a year ago. So not too bad. So it may not be a bad idea for you to start your week off maybe filling up. And thankfully, we haven't seen any prices like what you just noticed on the screen saying $6. That is obviously out of California, because we'd be in a lot of trouble if we were paying $6 for a gallon of gas. But yeah, $3.25, about that price that we're sitting at right now. So not a bad idea for you to get out there and fill up. And just a reminder for you, on the free Atlanta News First app, we actually have, we've partnered with Gas Buddies, so you can find the cheapest gas. And a lot of experts say if you want to save, there are two things that you want to do. You want to make sure that you're shopping around for your gas so that you're getting the best price, and then also partake in a lot of those gas savings like accounts that they actually have, where basically you can be a rewards member and you get points and you get essentially free money anytime that you're filling up. Kroger being one of them that sometimes I get to do. Anytime you swipe your card at Kroger and you make sure you use that little PIN code that they have and whatnot, that'll help you save a couple of cents per gallon. Shell, also another one, and I'm sure there are many more out there. So be sure to keep an eye out for those so that you don't miss out on your opportunity to get some of that cheaper gas for you. And last but certainly not least, of course, we are celebrating Black History here on Atlanta News First. I'm telling y'all, it's the day after the Super Bowl, so please forgive me because a lot of words just start coming easy to me today. So Atlantic Station doing something really cool with its movie series. Take a look at this that you see here on your screen. Yeah, the series is going to be opening on the Atlantic Green with Whitney Houston's film Cinderella. You may know Brandy. Yeah, she's also in that film. The Great Debaters is going to be playing on Wednesday, and the movie 42, which is about baseball legend Jackie Robinson, going to be playing next Wednesday on the 22nd. Now, I can tell you all of those movies do begin at 7 o'clock, and you can also support maybe one of your favorite Black-owned restaurants, or treat yourself to some retail therapy at one of the Atlantic Station's Black-owned shops out there. Always something to do. And today might not be a bad day, because if you take a look behind me and you see, now this is Lake Lanier behind me, but that's really what Metro Atlanta is looking like today. Not too many clouds out there in the sky, and definitely not clouds that are going to be producing any rain. So if you want the latest forecast, be sure to head over to our First Alert weather app, and we've got all of that great information for you there as well. We've got your news at noon coming up in about 50 minutes, so be sure to check us out on Atlanta News First. A lot of developing stories that we're staying on top of at this hour, but until next time, we'll see you. Thanks for joining.